Look at the Vikings here for a second. Pre-snap right now, it looks like they're showing cover one slash cover three. We're not positive yet, but single high safety makes things so it could be cover one or cover three. We've got the corners. He looks like he's slightly angled off. He looks like he'd be cover three. This guy looks more like he's cover one. He looks all the way out like he's one. So it looks like they're playing 55% cover one, 45% chance they're playing cover three. Cover three. Now, what we end up getting here is right after the snap, we can see there's a rotation. This safety slides over to the top side of the field, and this safety backs up on the near side of the field. And what's happening is pre-snap, the Vikings are showing cover three, and then they're moving to cover four. Now, personally, I'm of the belief that shifting into cover four is one of the hardest things to do because cover four is such a communication and exchange-based defense. Being able to shift into cover four is definitely one of the toughest things to ask a defense to do. But that's what they're doing here. They're shifting into cover four. Now, what we see right now to show that they're shifting into cover four, first thing is we see this safety get out, and you can see these two guys look like they're each playing quarter, whatever form of cover four we think it is. That's what we're doing. We could say, hey, look, he stops and he melts over here, and he drives on the two ends. We could call it some variation of palms if we wanted, or even like two read if you're really aggressive with how you play palms. We could say it's match quarters, whatever the deal is. That's thing one. Thing to the top of the screen here, you can watch as this guy works over, he eyeballs the tight end, right? And he's eyeballing number one. Because these two guys are not getting an exchange from their guy, they end up just melting over the top of their guy right now. Okay, this guy's already out because this ball's already been thrown to the flat right now. Okay, so we're thinking this is some form of match quarters at this point, right? He is playing a little bit above. Okay, he sees the tight end come in and he kind of squats for a moment there. We can see as he goes across, his eyes are on the tight end. He sees the tight end work in and he kind of sits. Now, the next corollary becomes that if we're going to play match quarters, the Mike has to go match three, who in this case, number three is 1, 2, 3, the back. Now, the Mike came from here because of the blitz they were drawing up, right? They blitzed these two guys to bring 6. And now the Mike has got to go all the way out to the back on the far side. The Vikings did a lot of that in this game where the linebacker was covering across in terms of how they were matching it. But he's got to match 3, who in this case is the back coming out the other side, which is a long travel. That's a tough ask for 54 to go out there and get to that. Okay. Now, one of the advantage of quarters and blitz and being able to create numbers from quarters is that if you are going to play one of the more modern aggressive styles of cover 4 where safeties are down driving on things and corners can jump out routes where it's not truly 4 high threatened vertically, is that you now can create blitz numbers. So the defense brings 5, right? They bring 2 from the other side, right? And they fall the defensive end to this side and they bring the Mike from that side. So they're overloading into the short side of the field. And realistically, if this passing concept were to last any longer and that Aaron Rodgers didn't get this ball out, this would be a sack. Obviously, an NFL quarterback, you would expect to be able to get rid of this ball in rhythm and beat the blitz with timing. But that's one of the advantages of cover 4 is that now you can create some of those blitz packages that some too high defenses like cover 2 can't create. Now, being able to line up in cover 3 or cover 1, depending on whatever you want to call this pre-snap look, and end up playing cover 4 and having the Mike cover from across the field, that's pretty advanced stuff. You're not going to see a lot of high school teams doing that. You might see, that in the higher levels of college and the NFL. But it's interesting to see, even with that, they've created spacing issues for themselves where he's got to get to the running back on the far side and the tight end, was essentially left uncovered because the safety was coming from such a high position and trying to work for width to recover. So definitely interesting to look at. Show cover 3 or cover 1, whatever you want to call it. Ended up playing cover 4, disguising cover 4. Not an easy thing to do, just hard to play from, leverage angles and assignments that way. NFL level, they still do it sometimes, and even then, it's still tough.